USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans. I hope we are all on the same page on this regard. That I'm providing very, very crucial, very, very important civil justice sign up for myself. And it's a multitasking is the wisdom, right? So that's all. You have, so in all my earlier sessions, I've been, if at all any of the audience get to witness the testimony, must be in the same page about what civil justice I'm providing, right? One side I'm getting the civil justice, one side I'm displaying the errors, and one side I have to get the job offer and get the salary and all the national benefits, right? Without any delay. Now, this session is all about, okay, so we all have been seeing how the credit card we swipe, in the grocery stores, right? So we go to the grocery store, swipe the credit card, and then I educated what happens behind the scenes, right? So on the behind the scenes, there is handwriting session, and then there's a claims division session, and I educated how huge chunk of software lines of codes is not even written. They have to start to write, but for them to start, for the software world to start to write, I have to get the job offer, I have to get all the authority, and I have to provide the guidelines to them, right? So you're understanding that foolish US nation is it's providing the roadblocks to me. Right, but then for me, God is there always. So that's pretty much it. With that said, what this session is all about. Okay, so the credit card, you swipe, and then we all saw that underwriting session and the claim session, and then what are the, it goes about the date, and then how you get past due or the due date for the bill to pay, and if you're going to pay late, then they provide a late fees, or if you're not going to pay, then they send to the collections office. Those are all the scandals. They're all created for tax fraud only. Okay, so for each and every single event, they provide a tax. So there's a sales tax, federal tax, and state tax for each and every single event. For handwriting services, tax, sales tax, federal tax, and state tax. Then the same thing for claims also. So if each and everything there's a tax, means imagine how much of the crime that is getting increased exponentially. So the regular population, they never knows any of these kind of scandal that going behind the scenes, because the banking sector, they don't want the regular population to know about that. They only advertise, I already said, the MasterCard, they advertise about how if you're going to see the TV commercial about that, it's so heavenly, isn't it? Because they bring that human sentiments into that commercials, and then they try to attract the people to get the MasterCard services. But then that's not the truth. These are all the telltale signs and the behavioral patterns of the prostitution service. So what is prostitution? One more time. The main scope of that prostitution is fooling. They have to fool. So these banking sectors, they have a division called marketing and advertisement and strategy division. So they say to those division, hey, you all know what scandal is going on in the finance services. Just keep your mouth shut. But then you do whatever. Provide a nice advertisement, a commercial to be thrown on the televisions or the movie theaters or the media. That way people will be using the MasterCard. This is how they will say, and they'll keep quiet. So then the advertisement, the marketing divisions in the financial services, be it bank or insurance or wherever, they will provide nice, they'll come up. It's almost like entertainment movies only, but in a workplace mood. It will not be like, they'll not say, oh, this is a movie, this is a director, like that. No, that's not, they'll not provide it that way. So it will be like a commercial, like a progressive commercial or a Geico commercial. They'll come up with a slogan, like catchy slogan, for every 15 minutes thing, whatever, blah, 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 you can save some insurance kind of thing. That's for the Geico. that lizard comes and talks. So they made a hell lot of money out of that advertisement alone. Because, see, that's how that the foundation itself, what is the scope, what is an objective for advertisement and marketing itself is, they want to attract the people, that's all. So there is never, for a true product, for a true, when there is a true worth, people should get to know about the product without having that advertisement and marketing part of it. Nobody has to say anything about that product. Without knowing that, the people have to know it. That's when they get to have that, know about the true product. But then the society created by the educated population, they created their own will and pleasures of the law, that saying that only when there is an advertisement, only when there is a marketing, then the line of business product can be sold. So that is why the brains are damaged worldwide. Be it jewelry, be it alcohol, be it beers, be it chocolate, whatnot. You are seeing lot of commercials, lot of advertisement. They make a hell lot of money out of it. So that means, let's say, even in the sports, right? Whenever you're going to see the football sports or whatever, you will see the insurance or the Microsoft like that on the background. Means they are all getting money. It's all interlinked. Both of them, it's called indirect marketing. I already said, right? Some of the products will even be displayed in the movies also, right? So that means they get indirectly marketed. Then that means the population seeing the movies, and if Microsoft is displayed in the movie, then people will naturally go towards the Microsoft mode. Most of them, I already said, very few only think about that products, the business line of products, which one they want to use. They do some kind of a homework and what exactly they want, and then they look for that line of product. But most of them, at least 90% I would say, they go by that advertisement, and then for the fashion show. Remember, I already said how young people, they drink Coca-Cola and Pepsi for fashion, and then how they become addicted without their awareness. It's same thing like that only. So, but then tell me, so then that means each and every single business operations, be it public sectors or be it private sectors, they provide $1 trillion revenue for advertisement and marketing strategy division alone. So without advertisement, without marketing, there is no business operations, I would say. You go to any insurance, you go to any hospitals, you go to any healthcare insurance, you go to any banking sectors, you go to any public sector, they all have this division, marketing, advertising, strategic planning division. Because it's in a competitive world, it's a rat race mode, right? Meaning they all are providing the same products and services, it's just they're having a different brand name, that's all. So Associated Bank is just only one bank. But do you think that USA, United States of America, having only one bank? No, right? So let's say for a rough estimation, for a scenario, right? Let's say there is one bank only in state of Wisconsin. That is Associated Bank. Okay, let's put it that way. So one bank in state of Wisconsin, how many states are there? 50 states are there. So then that means there will be 50 state banks. Then 50 federal banks. So that means the total count is 100 banks. Okay. Now 100 banks will have their own advertisement and commercials, planning, strategic division. Why? Okay, so then that's not the case, right? Okay, this is only 100 part of it, but then this is not the case. There are different banks in the state of Wisconsin, and it's the same thing for each and every single state, right? So right now, so what is the marketing? Let's say if I'm going to talk about Associated Bank, it gets marketed. Can you all get it? How that marketing, indirect marketing process also works. This is a live example. So that is why whenever people are listening to this live testimony, they are going to get the live truth raw truth of what exactly is going on in the corporation world, the scandal that is going on, and why on the earth the corporation world is not telling anything of their broken systems, because the population will freak out, right? As long as they're keeping quiet, this is a telltale sign. These prostitution infected patients, they are only fooling services. So they will always keep quiet. As long as the population are not asking any questions, then they can also get away with it, right? And as long as population are paying the interest and the late fees and the past dues and sending them to the collections to collect next tax sections, next part of the tax, and then the credit card means they're getting a hell lot of money just for one consumer. And there will not be only one consumer in associate, one bank. So let's say one bank has 100 customers. So that 100 customers, for one day they are going to swipe the card 100 times. Imagine how much of trillions of dollars they are earning in 1 second. That is how exponentially the scandal is. So they think that it is out of control, but it is fixable. It's not. It's not not fixable mode, because it's created by some prostitutes only. So that is why I nailed it down. I nailed down who exactly is the criminal who created all this havoc for us. Okay, so generally there is never a need for FICO score, this credit card score. But then these are all is needed. So one part is what? Advertisement and marketing. So they try to attract. So they say, see, if you're going to get this credit card, this much, you don't even have to pay any interest for 2 years, and they're going to give you a cash back of $1,000. So what exactly will people will do? They will directly run to that. And just because upfront they are seeing that $1,000, and that blinds the population eyes, right? Now I will want to give you one more example. Now, it's same thing happens with the retirement banking sectors also. They say, if you're going to open this retirement account with us, we'll give you upfront $2,500 in cash. So can you see, these are all the marketing and advertising strategy. It's a prostitution way of process model, which should not be in any of the workplace sectors after all. If Microsoft has its own design that can stand up, it does not even need an advertisement and marketing strategy. That dollars that's wasted on that can be used for any other extended business operations in Microsoft itself. So that's what I'm trying to say. But then they have to rely upon this advertisement and marketing to get the people's attention to get their products, right? So when, for example, when iPhone was coming up with the iPad and iPhone, those were that era, right? But for 10 years they had that, that they were, rising in their business product selling. Apple product I'm talking about. But then, when you're going to see the Microsoft, I already said they lost their buzz, right? They missed the buzz in the mobile industry. But I'm sure they will surely come up with their own product. And I'm absolutely positive on that end, right? Now, that said, Microsoft was lagging behind. So they had to rely on the marketing, and then they came up with the Surface Pro. Initially it had its own, like any other product. Even Apple products, as initially when they come up with the product, they have that initial errors and issues. And so even Surface Pro had that. And it was almost to be died down, the Microsoft Surface Pro. Then they became vigilant. The Microsoft became vigilant. They did not want to lose that revenue out of that Surface Pro. Boom. They came up with a design for the Surface Pro, and still it's there. It's costly, right? So, but then what I'm educating is, when there is a true of everything, there is never need for a marketing or advertising, right? So, but then this is how the society works. Even for the, to the other scenarios. Even in the workplace, to get the word job, they say you have to come up with a network. Only when you are having a good network, then only we can give a job. So tell me, the people would have worked, right, in the workplace, and then they might have been taking a break, and they might have come out of that workplace, and we don't know what changes that would have happened to the other previous people like that. But then this foolish society, even in the workplace, that's how they created a lot of LinkedIn and other services, because they wanted that network to see what other people say about you. Oh, you're laughing. Yes, my dear fellow mankind. Yes. So this is what the society is all about, right? So who created the society? Is it God? No. Is it you, me? Is it humans? Why? Why there be a need for that networking? So then that means they have to rely. So that itself says that the workplace is not believing whoever they want to hire. Right? Can you all see how everything is tracing to the human trust and the belief and the blindest faith part of it? Right? So for me, if at all a workplace is going to hire me, they have to look into my skills. They have to consider my skills and give me the job based out of my skills. Now tell me, if they are going to say only if other people are going to say about me, only then they can give me the job, then that itself says that they do not believe me. When the workplace do not believe me, and they're going to believe only the other people are going to say about me, then how on the earth, even if they're going to hire me, they're going to believe me? Can you see? Can you see how the society is living in always an illusion only forever? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. A true of everything does not never needs an advertisement or marketing. A true of everything and anything is created by God, and people themselves will identify it. That is how it should be. Right? That is how it should be. So I already said, so okay, they are going to say, they are going to rely on all the other people are going to say about you, only then they are going to hire means, then it's after getting their hired, then they are all on the strangest mode only. So at least they should have other things, but it's not going to be that way. Whether your people are having that experience or the internship from the graduated from the college, getting into the workforce means they are all strangers only, no matter what. Right? So the new graduates, if they want to get into the workplace, then how on the earth they will ask for the reference for them? Then they have to go to the college, and no, that's not how it should work, right? The workplace should give the job based out of the talent, sole talent of the individual only. It should be on individual basis. But then because of this, what the foolish people will think, okay, let's go figure out network. Then the workplace will see the network people will be like hundreds and thousands of people will be there in the media, right? Be it Facebook or whatever it is. But then nobody, it's all will be in the strangers mode only for that people. So what went wrong? Why people brain have to think in that foolish way that only when marketing is there, only when advertisement is there, only when other people are saying about other people who work, only then they can give the job. So that itself is I'm providing these are all for a scenario, right? How the marketing and advertising impacts an adverse way in the brains of the humans. When you're going to see a commercial in the Super Bowl, people will like it, get attracted to it. Just for that commercial alone, they will, oh yeah, tomorrow I want to go to that beer shop and get that beer and have it. Right? Then it will not be only one person, one civilian will go to the beer shop and have a beer. It will not be even one bottle. Right? They will take a pack a dozen or something like that. They'll come back home. So if it is 100 civilians going to get that same branded beer, 100 packs means 100 times 1000, 12 is a dozen, right? So 100 times of 12 dozen, 12 means what? So imagine how much they get out of tax revenue alone. And it will have sales tax for item by item only, bottle by bottle only they'll provide tax. So tax for the bottle, tax for the cap, and tax for the beer alcohol. And then tax for your swiping your card. So imagine how much of this crime has been going on forever, but population never knew. Why? The Pope Francis and Absolute-Monarchs have educated the finance services not to tell any of this that's going on. It is said as a secret, business secret. Do not let it out like that. But then, when I displayed all the crime of the finance services that's going on, they got screwed up, right? They got mad at me. This is exactly what the foolish people will do, and that is why Walmart threw acid on me. Amazon threw acid on me, right? Today they will be going to the jail, right? They should not be selling alcohol or tobacco, according to the amendment of 18th and 21st Amendment. They become deadliest drug dealing classification mode. They should not be selling any of the National Rifle guns and gunpowders in the form of hunting. And National Rifle Association should not be there. I heard the news that it got bankrupted. It's all cursed organizations, right? It all created by Pope Francis after all. So can you all see how the innocent population always been stamped as an at-fault mode? So National Rifle Association leader is looked at fault mode for selling all the deadliest guns to the cops agencies, the police agencies, and the military agencies, and local public. It's all wrong, it's crime, right? So this amendment, nobody knew. This amendment is all aligned with Hitler's policy, right? Don't you all think so? So this is how I slapped on the face of the Germans. And whatever salute, I don't know what that salute is all for. I don't even want to know about that. So all I can say is whatever salute they provided to Hitler, it's all a scam. They backstabbed him. They are the ones who killed Hitler after all. The Germans only killed Hitler. Then how on the earth they can even tell that they are fanatic love with Hitler, right? So I nailed on that crime as well. So can you see everywhere people are displaying only the fake love, not a clean love? So Germans provided only fake love to Hitler just for the namesake. That's all. Right? Now tell me, the Walmart crime is so deadly. We are still working on that retail section only. There is more crime. You all need to know. So tell me, this workplace also, there needs to be an advertisement. This is actually an advertisement and marketing strategy, the networking, right? That's a crime, right? Why? See, let's say when I know God gave me the talent, nobody can steal my talent. It is only God given me the talent. I can go to the workplace, I can stand up and I can talk what I can do for the task. And based out of that, only they have to give me the job. Then it is a healthy processing. Why even they need to have that advertising and marketing for other people to talk about me, my skills? They can even cook up something more or something less, what of not. And then the society will go with that only. They'll have a prejudiced mode. They'll have a stereotyping mode, right? So even when I go and talk, they'll have a prejudiced mode of talking to me. Do you all think then how there's a polluted form of judgment on hiring process, right? It's not only I will be attending the interview for a position. unless it's a multiple positions available for the same job. If it is only one job, it's not I'm only going to be applying for that job. There will be a lot of people who will be attending. But then let's say if I'm not having any kind of networking and other people having all networking, then if they are going to go only by the networking part of hiring, then the other person will get the job naturally. I will be left out upfront. Even if I have the technical skill, they will not even bother to look at it. So this is a scandal that's going on forever. It's not a one-day scandal, it's forever. Then what more? If they are saying the network only is a good thing, then at least they have to stick on to that. They are not even sticking on to that in the workplace, right? If they have their own relatives, then they refer and they get the job, just like that. It's happening worldwide, right? Or sons or daughters or some immediate related people, they get the job. In Senate it happens, right? When husband dies, wife, widows get the job. Now tell me, that's a life proof, isn't it? So Brett Kavanaugh, it was a total scam. You all must have seen that how that Senate interview session was a scam. Rather than looking whether they can do the task or not, they were just making it a mockery and displayed a comedy show to the whole world. The whole world was laughing at USA for providing a circus show, right? People don't even have to know who the interview session. The population don't even have to know who they are going to elect, right? President don't know what job he's going to do, and President Joe Biden got elected. They were all wanting to know about the advertisement and marketing part of it. They say you go market, you do advertising, you provide campaign, you raise dollars out of it, and then become a presidential candidate nominee. That it's wrong, right? That's wrong. Don't all think so. So how much of tax fraud has been provided for that alone? So it's not only 10 people shooting for that presidential race. It's not, Kamala Harris was one of them who was shooting for the presidential race. Amy from state of Minnesota, then I think state of Hawaii, the Tulsi Gabbard, and then Elizabeth Warren. These are all the females who are shooting to become the presidential candidate. So they all must have been providing their own set of advertising, marketing strategy and campaigning strategy. And when I was interacting with the Department of Justice, they must have communicated, right? So all the women one by one, including Kamala Harris was the last one to back off from becoming the president election standoff. But somehow or the other, not somehow or the other, she became vice president. That's also scandal and a scandal. That Amy, Elizabeth Warren, they all want to back off in silence because they know this President Joe Biden going to be elected. It's going to be a lot of scandal in a scandal mode. So let them handle it. So it's a selfish mode. Otherwise, Amy and Elizabeth Warren were on the other front line to become the vice president, after all, right? So what did the advertising and marketing do to the human? Did it do anything good at all, or did it do anything bad at all? If yes, why? If no, why? Right? Yes, there are some very sentimental mode of advertisements. People love it, right? But then how it's all becoming on a hierarchy level, on an illusion only, right? Illusion. So now tell me, for me, it's like that's my way of telling, right? So when the workplace is going to hire, they have to look into whether the candidate is having the skills that can be doing the task. Or even if not having, then will the candidate will be, the recruiting candidate, the prospective candidate will be in a learning mode, will on the job mode. If the people are going to provide highest level of training, will that person will be in a mode to sit and learn the things as and when needed. Because I already said, when any civilian, they need minimum 90 days to understand the systems, right? Just like that, it is going to be one and the same operations only. If you're going to call it the insurance, it's going to be the same. If it's banking, it's going to be the same. Retail is going to be the same. Only difference is each and every single different brand have their own terminologies and have their own different systems. So customer management system in one retail brand will be different from the other retail brand. So when the civilian need that 90-day of learning time, learning curve, right? So, but then when the hiring people, when they are considering all these into the consideration, right? They do not even need other people marketing for the rightful candidate. A rightful candidate will always have the rock solid work ethics. Right? So it's always it's more challenging. It becomes challenging for the hiring processing because the hiring managers need to identify that. How are they going to identify that? That's a challenge. It goes by case basis. Nobody can define that. That itself is a separate professional hiring, how to hire prospective and rock solid work ethic professionals in the workplace. It is a huge complex process that's going, and people are still breaking on the head on how to simplify the process. They should not be they should not even rely on the networking process alone. It should be an optional thing. If they're going to have the network, it's having the network, that's all. There's nothing wrong, nothing bad about it, and nothing good about it either, right? Tell me how you will, if you're hiring managers, how you will hire. But the society's created a law for themselves according to their will and pleasures, isn't it? Only if the other people are going to talk about you, only based out of that, only then we can even think of hiring you or not, like that. That's not how it should be, isn't it? The hiring processes, they have to identify the technical skills of the prospector, recruiting candidate. Then always it's all about that interview part. Everybody has to wear that dress code for when they're going to attend an interview, right? Because they say the dress code plays a vital role. You can still attend with your PJs, right? I know you're laughing. You can still attend an interview without coloring your hair, without any makeup, just wake up, just you're waking up from the bed, without even brushing your teeth. You can still attend an interview, right? Even the hiring managers can do the same thing. They can even wear the pajamas and they can just wake up from the bed and then they can even come up for the interview panel and there can be an interview. There's nothing wrong and there's nothing bad about it. But then there's always that dress code part of it, right? It goes without saying. That gives that when they are going to go to the work, this is how they'll display, right? It's nothing wrong. So that is why whenever there is an interview, people will prepare for it. They'll prepare what kind of a dress code they have to wear it. And then because that checks off like 50 to 75%, they provide the check off on that itself. Even before they're going to see the technical skills, the 75% they're going to put on your dress code part of it. Imagine the brain processing that will go beyond that hiring managers. Right. Then if you're going to go to state by state, some state needed only formal dress codes, right? Some states needs only business casuals, like they are semi-formal, it's okay, like more. Some states like California, they are super okay with whatever casuals, not even casuals, like even if you're wearing shorts or jeans, like, they're okay with it. They do not have any code. It's like a day-to-day with a day-to-day dress itself, they can interview, they can get you hired. So it goes by state code of how that interview dress code should be. But behind the scenes, there's always that basic bottom line, right? People dress up, right? And yes, people can even go with the gray hairs, but then people color the hair. I color the hair whenever I have to go for the interview session. I color my hair. I wear minimum makeup, right? So tell me what. So that is a scandal that's going on the workplace side. And then after all these interview sessions are gone, then they have to finalize and filter out of the skin color. If it is white European or Asian, like that, or a disabled veteran, or a handicapped, or a physically challenged people, like that. So then they discriminate based out of that. That's wrong, isn't it? When it's a workplace, it's always first thing goes with the talent, right? So that is why, this complex hiring processing, how it became complex. One side they're saying only if you're having network, then only we can give you the job. So then that means they're putting a pressure on the civilians, right? That's not how it should be. So even if the civilian is not having that technical skills that they're looking out for, if at all, let's say the civilian says, where once I'm a fast learner, I can catch up things, that I can understand the systems, and I can learn the tools as needed in the on-the-job training, that's all is needed, right? They can give the 3 months time or 6 months time. It's everybody, so that means anybody can get into the workforce, that means. That's the truth after all. But they are providing roadblocks. Who provided that roadblocks? Pope Francis only. Queen Elizabeth II only, right? So that means whoever became CEOs, or who became managers, or who became team leaders, or who became project managers in the workplace, they were all once climbing up the ladder, like you and me in the hard working process mode only, right? So that means they all became, so that means they should have known when by the time they're interviewing, oh yes, I've been there, oh yes, I know that, oh, so then why can't we give an opportunity, right? So that means, can you all see how the workplace also, the hiring processing is also worldwide is being made into a scandal after all, and prostitution processing model only. These are all the behavioral patterns, right? When you are having a stereotyping, when you are having a prejudged mode, and then you are going to talk to the person, you have to figure out the correct answer. Is it a right way or not? From my end, I do not need to know about anything about my peers. And I provide blindest faith, blindest trust, blindest belief. And this is how I've been providing in my earlier work assignments, which I already educated. The work teams and the managers, the higher officials, they never knew me when they hired me, right? It is they see my work, they see my work, rock-solid work ethics with their own eyes. The integrity, the loyalty, right? How communicating with the excellent rock-solid work ethics means boundary set, the firewall set already. Healthy conflict management. These are all important, right? Healthy conflict management, because workplaces is a diversified place. We can't expect all the people to be the same way we want it to be, right? Everybody brain processing is different. Males will be there, females will be there, LGBTQ people will be there, different religious population will be there. Black skin will be there, white skin will be there, green skin will be there, yellow, red, green, white, whatnot, blue, purple, all skin people will be there. Tall will be there, short will be there, fat will be there, thin will be there, right? Handsome men will be there, average Joes will be there, pretty women will be there, average Janes will be there. How the civilians are going to handle all these kind of a diversified mode in the workplace? It all counts, right? So then, the hiring managers, if the task is complex, means they have to identify the talent and provide the job sign-off based on the talent alone, right? Why? When that talent is identified, they can easily get to observe the other talents as well, right? The rock solid word, whether they can handle the conflict or not. Because in the interview, the civilians are going to say about that, how they can handle the conflict, like that, right? The peer pressure mode. So all these are there, but then why why this advertisement and marketing became a core operations of any of the business operations worldwide? Why? So the society brain started to think in the wrongful way. I got it. Only if there is an advertisement, only then the business operations can work. Only if there is a advertisement and marketing, only then the business product can work. People can get that business product. So why that came into the picture? It is a rat race mode. Then it's the same product only. So Google is providing the same product, Microsoft is providing the same product, and Apple is also providing the same product. So it's a rat race now. It's almost like in a running race, a track race. Have you seen in the track, the sports channel? All the people will be standing on the same line, and the referee has to blow the whistle or say 1, 2, 3, start running, right? And then the trackers or the runners will start running. It's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, start means Apple, Google, and Microsoft will start running on the running race track. Whoever gets to hit that winning lane, they get winning. Whoever breaks down in the middle of the race, they get out. And this is a crime, right? Because they are creating adverse brain operations. So this traces to the way back to the Roman Empire sport of gladiator. Got it? So gladiator sport only is a hierarchy of all the sports, I would say. I mean, to trace that track record mode for the recent mode. So in the Roman Colosseum, the people were sold as slaves, even the white-skinned people, not only the black-skinned people, even the white-skinned people were also sold as slaves only. So it's worldwide, it's the same. So when they are sold as slaves to be how they have make the roosters to fight or, like that, the humans were sold as slaves to the slave master in the Roman Empire, and they were made to fight with each other. And even they went to the extent of making them to fight with the wild animals, like lions or cows, like that. And if they get killed, they get killed. If they win, they win. And the people were cheering. People were watching. So that's why all the football games in United States of America is built and modeled out of the Roman Colosseum Empire model only. I know you're all puking, it's okay. So that means the Green Bay Packers Stadium, it's modeled out of Roman Colosseum only. So then, when the medical doctors, they never provided their end of the scandal. The financial side, they never provided their scandal. That's a scandal, and the scandal is going on, right? And you all must have seen a movie about that Red Sox, how that, I don't know, was there Tom Hanks in that movie? I'm not sure. But there was another movie where all the women's will be asked to play in that game. I think, what's her name? What's her name? She is a tall lady, the actress. I think that something starts with a Gina or something like that. She acted in, oh my gosh, I don't know, but she's tall, I forgot her name. And there were two movies based out of the sports only. One movie was, they were displaying about the scandal of baseball team. And because of whatever that managers, they buy out, right? So the managers, the sports managers, they create that scandal. Because of that, all the talented people who got hired in that it's a baseball team. It's a true incident. That's what they provided in that movie. I forgot the name of the movie though. And they all will be laid off abruptly. And can you see? And their career, everything got lost and everything got shattered in pieces. That's how that movie will end. And the other one is, the people will be, they will go collect the females, the women who are in the farms and homemakers, they all will join and they become a team and they will learn that sport and they will win the sport. And I don't know whether it was a true thing that happened, but that story, I like that story, how they portrayed it, how that talent is like, even people can, without having any talent, can get into the workplace and still get to show their talent, right? So that's how they portrayed that movie. And all that women, they all will be happy because how they created the history. And then I think they all will reunite when they become very old. And they will look at that pictures and the awards and hanging on that sports thing, and they will recollect it, how nice it is like that. So that's how the movie will end. And I like that movie, how they portrayed it, right? So then, tell me, so even the sports side, they're having a lot of crime, right? And they will not tell it out loud. Be it boxing, and boxing is a thing that have to hit and punch on the other people's face. How many fans are there for the boxing sport? And I was the one who educated those sports must be banned, right? And people never liked that. I mean, I'm talking about the financial services, they do not like it, because I was educating wisdom and doctors never liked it at all. Because if the doctors only signed boxing is healthiest sport. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks only signed boxing is an healthiest sport. Now tell me, how on the earth a doctor can even sign that kind of a sport as a healthiest sport? Right? And if you go, we all know there's a sport in Japan, the sumo, right? The hefty people, two people will be wrestling like that. And then what? There is more of these things. So why? Why that brain processing being damaged? It's okay to fight, it's okay to punch, right? So they provided a law. When it's coming to the sport, it's okay to punch in the boxing sport or in the football league. Back in India, football is different. It's not even the football which United States of America says, right? So that itself is an absolute innocence of United States of America. They got fooled. It's a gladiator sport version only is a National Football League. Population got fooled up front. I know it will be the Green Bay Packers organization that will be puking pus right now, right? The Roman Empire, gladiator sport is the extended robo-scientific science and technology era sport is only National Football League in United States of America. And if you are seeing it, it's only played only in United States of America, nowhere else. How I nailed on the crime. In a Roman Empire, I always only human, right? And this is how the Romans will throw the asset on the civilians when they teach wisdom. So that means it is God made me to come to the USA and teach USA, like how God sent Jonah, and the same thing. How Jonah feared to go to the Nineveh, right? So here, not only Europeans, Asians or whoever coming inside the USA, they all become slaves to Queen Elizabeth II. That is what the Statue of Liberty says. No matter what. Regardless of the skin color, regardless of the nationality, regardless of the religious faith, they all become mandated slaves to Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, no matter what. So one side, they made it a monument. The Roman Colosseum is a monument, which is close to the Vatican only. Right? Rome only. But then they said they banned the gladiator sport. Then the people got fooled. United States of America never knew that it's all going to be built and to be slave for Queen Elizabeth II only. They never knew. I already said, right? So then they built all the National Football League stadiums, all modeled only after the Roman Colosseum, the gladiator sport. So one side I educated boxing is crime. To make a fellow mankind to hit and punch, it's crime. It's a deadliest domestic violence, war crime. The doctors did not like it. Because they are getting $1 trillion revenue out of that sport only. They really don't care. Mike Tyson is one of them. He became a victim of abuse, isn't it? Then, the sport, the National Football League sport, it's a gladiator sport wherein people have to kill each other. Even today, I don't know any rules behind that football. People enjoy that Super Bowl or whatever. For me, always I'm not in that, even in that gathering, I'll be the left out in the crowd always, no matter what. You all know that, right? Not fitting in the crowd more. Because women will be always gossiping or they will be always saying what they got new in their house like that, and like too much. For me, it's like out of the crowd more. Right. If at all there's a board game or a family fun sport or dancing or shouting out louder, that time I love it. But when these kind of stuff comes, then I do not fit in that crowd. Right. Then the people will be shouting and cheering for this sport. I don't know the rules for that sport. Okay. So for any sport, they have to know the rules. Only then they can even understand. But then on the highest level, I know that it's a gladiator sport. People have to hit on each other. So that means even if they're going to have that head-on-head collision, they can have brain injury. And if they fall down and if the 100 or how many people, they are all huge, heavy-weighted. And the people they hire for this kind of sport, they wanted only this much height, this much weight, right? They cannot be short people. No, right? We all know that. So then huge heavy weighted people, if they're going to stomp or drop on that civilian who is also playing on that sport, lot of things can happen, right? Bones can break, can get knee injury or shoulder injury, or some can even hit the ground and die out of cardiac arrest. So at what risk they are going to play that sport? Now tell me, Billy Graham was there. He could have educated about that. He never did that. Even he must have been one of the fans of the National Football League. How many diehard fans are there? When I'm talking right now, if any of the Green Bay Packers fans are listening to me, they're going to just punch on my face. They're going to spit on my face. I am aware of it. As a true civil lawyer, and as a true civil doctor, I know how foolish people will react. Fanatic love, right? Fanatic love of the sport. Fanatic love of the sport. Any sport, if you're going to take it, it's a risky sport. Be it swimming, be it baseball, right? If the baseball, that ball is going to hit on your eyes or head, people will die. Eyes will be gone. It's a risky sport. But why this National Football League is only comes under the classification of gladiator? So people, can you see, the people thought that gladiator sport was banned, that it's no more Roman Empire, no more king's rule, and how 300 millions of population in United States of America, both white skin and colored skin, got fooled. It's never about the colored skin of the population. Can you all get it? So yes, if you're going to see in these kind of a sport, 95% or 99% will be African Americans. It's a survival mode, isn't it? African Americans only hired in these sports, National Football League and basketball, right? And they risk their lives. They know once when they're going to get in this kind of a sport, they will be killed. They can be killed anytime. And they will get into all these kind of injuries, and they have to live with it. And their family life, everything will be destroyed, right? Because they will throw a lot of luxury to them. The United States of America, they will sign the contract with this NFL Football League. But with that sign off, they're also signing off death and losing their family dignities. The families, how they get destroyed, like that. It's the same thing for golf too, right? If that golf bat or if that golf ball here can, if it is hit on any of the civilians, they can die, right? But this one, the National Football League, it is out of their own risk. It's like they're getting the money to get themselves fall in the trap. And they suck the blood of the players and they just destroy them, right? It's a scandal. Nobody knows. For the population, they have to get the ticket, they have to go to that stadium. It's an enjoyment mode. They think it is a fun sport to watch. But nobody, not even one population in the United States of America knows it's a gladiator sport. It's a war crime, kind of a deadliest crime mode of the sport. Nobody knew, right? When they say hitting and punching is a domestic violence, then how many fans are watching in the boxing arena and watching that sport, isn't it? Have you all ever seen that Hurricane movie? If you all get a chance, go watch it. It displays the scandal of how the boxing goes by and how African Americans have always been thrashed. It's not one day thrashing, no. Even today, some Africans must have been died by the white-skinned cops shooting or kneeling on the neck of the African Americans. It's still going on right now. It's never stopped. It never stopped after 2,000 years of total slavery provided by Queen Elizabeth II. It never stopped. It never stopped even after she brought all the African Americans as slaves to the USA. It never stopped even after 500 years. It never stopped even when COVID-19 was created. It was right during the COVID-19 only how many African Americans died. It never stopped. It never stopped then. It never stopped ever. Even this moment, at least one African must be shot and killed by the cops in the United States of America, somewhere, anywhere in the United States of American location. Gladiator sport. Right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. In that Hurricane movie, they would have displayed how the African Americans got trashed and how they are mandated to fall in the trap at the first place. Like how Queen Elizabeth II makes Hitler to create an organization and wait for him to provide all the destruction, then kills him. This is a pattern of abuse. She always kills anybody who stands in her way, right? She kills everybody. It's a pattern. Not anymore, because I am there. One fire slap, that's all is needed. I chopped her head, the Queen Elizabeth II's head. Nobody will dare to ask me why, right? This National Football League sport is a gladiator sport, and she wanted that, and she wanted these African Americans or the white-skinned Americans to fight and kill each other in that gladiator sport of National Football League so that she can drink the blood of the sports population, blood in the form of tax. They never knew. When they're going to sign up the contract, it's like a lottery for them. Survival mode, isn't it? When it's a lottery, then they don't even have to worry about the monthly paying bills. If that's a reason why all this the sports car, even the racing car sport, it's a dangerous sport, isn't it? People can die, but they all get equivalent or double, triple amount of the salary. People cannot even imagine. They don't know poverty, right? Because even before getting signed off, they might be in the poverty mode. But once when they signed off, they are in the celebrity mode. Then they're always in the peer pressure mode. These organizations, they have the individual owners, right? Then they will always put the pressure on their back. Meaning they have to play good in that playground. They'll wait for 2 times or 3 times and they'll get fired too. How many, is interception good or not? I've heard about the word called interceptions. That means if team players, if let's say if Green Bay and other teams, Giants like Vikings are playing, and if the Green Bay team is throw, the leader is throw, the quarterback is throw. Quarterback is a leader, that's I know for a basic rule. And throwing the ball, the football, then the Vikings coach or the quarterback catches it, means it's called interception, I think. I'm not sure on that end. But then that's not a good sign, right? Because then they will get that ball and they will start to play. So if these kind of things are going to happening, these managers will have that count. Because they'll be watching in that sports. And it's up to their discretion whether to hire or fire more. Some people just fire them. How many coaches gets fired, right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, that's a gladiator sport never got banned. Out of their own risk only, people are sold as slaves. Can you see? They get them as a contract. They cannot even move here or there. And they hire them very young age, 19, 20 years old, so that by the time they hit 30 years old, they are filthy riches. But at what cost? They would have got knee injury, back injury, spinal cord injury, eye injury, head injury, internal organs injury. And then Now you can go and get married if you want, and here in United States of America, they'll not even marry that young. They'll marry old only. By the time they're going to get married that old, see how their even family life also getting destroyed. And they will not even get married immediately. You all know. They have to live a domestic partner's way of lifestyle for a while. Because sex becomes first in priority to the love. Right? That means they have to have sex, so if there is no love or whatnot, they do not care about it. So by the time they want to get married, then society will talk so many things, right? And they themselves will split, those two people will break up. It's happening in entertainment world, it's happening in the celebrity world, it's also happening in the households world. Jealous, right? It's always boiling up to the jealous, my dear fellow mankind. People never love true love. People get jealous when a man and a woman gets into a clean love or true love. They mock the true love. They mock at when people mandate holy marriage law. It's not one day scandal, it's a scandal that's been going on forever. That needs to be fixed right now. Pope Francis destroyed holy marriage law. Don't you all think that needs to be fixed now? That is the highest priority. And President Joe Biden never talked about it. So that is why he is a scammer. And President Trump is innocent in my civil book of law. I already said President Trump will be laughing out loudest in his heart because he knows I, Vethapriya, PROSE, a true civil lawyer, will provide the rightful justice to President Joe Biden. Is COVID-19 first priority to handle for a blatant that never even existed? Or destroyed holy marriage, that needs to be fixed immediately? You all work on that. If one thing is fixed, everything gets fixed. So which of these two must be fixed? Holy marriage law destruction must be fixed immediately. Nobody talked about that, right? I'm only talking about that only forever. For past 8 years, I'm only talking about that. People never got it. Pope Francis got it. So he mandated all the national operations to throw acid on my face. Because I'm making people wisest, isn't it? How many younger generations started to choose a healthy lifestyle? Teen pregnancy got reduced. In my worldwide, in my wisdom education alone. Because nobody can teach how to love fellow mankind. No, that's not how the true love operates. It's a heaven after all. For heaven, people need to be in that mode, only then they can feel what is heaven. So that is why nobody can teach how humans to love clean. People should love clean. It comes with, it's a natural process. That's why it's created by God, without any influence. Without any influence is the key word. And that feeling just like that will not come. Because it comes, and it's a natural process. It should come. People should, families should celebrate it because it's a celebration of true love festival, right? So, marketing and advertising, right? This took 1 hour. Marketing, advertising, and how workplace scandal is going on, how sports, they are all workplace only. How the workplace is going on, what is gladiator sport, what is boxing sport, why nobody, why not even one educated man, why not even one educated woman knew and guided USA government, hey government, please ban boxing sport, please do not allow people to fight, it creates a lot of emotional torture for me, it creates after all for me, right? Even when I see the violent movies also provide a lot of violence, right? I do not like it. So these doctors wanted those things to happen to the human brain, so then they'll become patients and they'll go to the doctors and they'll have the money in their pocket. Scandal, tax scandal, right? Please tell me why not even one man, not even one woman stood up and guided USA government to ban boxing, which comes under the classification of deadliest war crime, domestic violence. Tell me. One side the Care Bears, the toddler, the animated story. It says how to love each other, right? Clean, like that. And one side boxing says it's okay to punch, hit on a fellow mankind. Even if they die, that's okay, right? Or it's okay to have a horse racing. It's okay to have a car racing. It's okay to have a rodeo sport, right? The fighting with the bull sport. It's okay to have National Football League where people will hit on each other and die each other. It's okay at the cost of their life. It's okay that they can suck the blood and they can earn money out of it. The managers are the prostitutes in each of the national football leagues because they fool the population, isn't it? They are all innocent population who sign the contract and who go and play in the playground. They are all innocent people only. Regardless of the celebrity status they get, they are innocent people like you and me. They have the same feelings. They also need to live a life, right? They also need a shelter, everything. But at what cost they have been exploited? Why nobody knew it's a gladiator sport? Why nobody knew that each and every single national football league stadium is built, modeled out of the Roman Empire gladiator Roman Colosseum? Why? Why? Why there are healthy sports? Why there are unhealthy sports? Why there are sports that creates healthy wellness for humans? Why there are unhealthy sports that destroys humans? Why? Casinos is a sport, isn't it? Casinos is a sport. Lottery is a sport. How they make the humans as dogs. Literally dogs, isn't it? When I'm saying dogs, means if you're going to want to train or if you want to get the attention of a dog, all you have to show the treat, right? And to get the treat, the dog will do anything, right? And what they will say, okay, this treat is there, now go fetch the ball, or go there and come, like that. The dog will do it. And I do not like that part of it also, right? If you're going to give the treat, give the treat. Just don't make that happen. And then to stop the dog barking, they have a shock. People created shock things, right? Why they never provided that kind of a shock for the humans to treat all these kind of abusive disease? Why they never provided that same shock mode for Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks, so they would not even bother to create this plague, right? If it's on the neck, the moment they wanted to create that mask marketing, immediately the shock would have pinched on their neck nerve and they would have stopped providing that mask at the first place. Why they never provided that? Or why they never provided that to the Pope Francis and the Queen Elizabeth too at the first place? World War I would have been stopped, right? World War II would never been provided. Right? So what exactly went wrong in the humanity program is going to check. This is how it will check. Can you see how huge chunk of software lines of codes are all missed everywhere? Loopholes mandated purposefully, because it's all because the Pope Francis do not want him to be in the hot oil. right? If the people are going to ask why USA government provided all the National Football League stadium in the modeled of the Roman Empire, Roman Colosseum, why Pope God, being a god of USA, never prevented it, he'll be thrown in fire to be gone in ashes, isn't it? So he never wanted that. So he changed that Roman Colosseum gladiator name to be National Football League, which is organized and legalized, looks like a sport, so nobody will dare to ask. And Pope Francis anyways is not considered coming under the government systems. And Roman Province Justice organizations will be right under the nose of the government only of USA, but they'll still not be in the government systems anywhere. So he can live free for all the crimes he created, right? So can you all see, one part I'm displaying why the marketing and advertising, that's a tax fraud crime, right? Everywhere it's there. As of now, they must be working in any of the business organizations, they must be working on the marketing and the advertising divisions only. So they all got jealous of me because without any advertising, without anything, I'm just explaining everything of that raw crime and displaying my skills, right, my talent. They all got jealous of me after all. So one said that. Then the workplace says only networking, only other people says about you, only then. No, that's not how it should work, right? They have to give the job based out of the talent. That they should not even discriminate at that mode, right? So just provide, so let's say if there is a career break, or single moms are there, or if there are any poverty people are there, or even homeless people are there, right? Refugees are there. They can give the jobs to them. Just provide a 5 years of continuous job to them. They themselves will get improved in their economic status, isn't it? Why they are not providing that healthy roadways, the road pathways? It is Pope Francis wanted homeless to be homeless, and the refugees to be refugees, and single parents to be single parents in the trashed mode. Right? As if this is not enough, he also provided the gender gap salary must be there. Males are God, so males only must be always the leaders in all the public sectors. Females are trash, females are low, so they must be paid less salary, and they must be in the very less roles, right? And President Joe Biden provided a scam. He want to create his show, right? When all these things are happening, he want to create a show that he is creating all diversified government, he's providing all females in the office roles. No, this is all a scandal. President Trump never provided that kind of a marketing, but he still had a lot of women in his administration, right? The leadership qualities I'm talking about. Everybody is different. All the presidents had women in their administration, right? So then tell me how this scandal. So that is one part of the scandal. How people gets attracted because of that advertisements, right? And marketing. And that creates a prejudice mode, stereotyping mode. Then they will talk. So for me, if you are going to believe me blind test. If you're going to trust me blind test. If you're going to have faith in me blind test. Just do not provide the stereotyping, prejudice way of then talk to me. Then I do not even want to talk. I'll say only after I have to say everything, only after then you have to talk to me, then I will say just do not talk to me, right? Because from my end I know when there is a love, it's a love should be clean. And there are different types of love types, right? When I'm going to say I love you, there is different types of I love you, right? It's not only one. But out of that I love you, always there is only one that stands out in the crowd. That is what is called as a true love. right? The clean love part of it. So then I have to address about the sports scandal as well, because that is also coming into that advertisement mode and workplace mode only. How they are tortured and how that scandal is going on and how those people are handling it, chewing on the injustice and still living with it, dealing with it. And the US will say, see, you got already the lot of dollars, live with it and deal with it. And how many people, even when they get married, by the time they get married, their knee injury, spinal cord injury, whatnot. How that impacts their life. Then by the time they realize, oh my gosh, everything gone. The life is gone, the prime age is gone, everything stripped away by the selfish USA government, right? And once when they extract all the job and everything from the people, they'll just throw them in the trash. This is the typical Republicans' way of handling things. Even Democrats are same. Roman Empire. Roman Empire is nothing but Egyptian Empire. Egyptian Empire is nothing but the Islam Empire. Islam Empire is nothing but Iran. Everything of the hell started right there in Iran. God, that is why he wanted to send the Jonah to that filthiest nation. It's always the brain, the human brains. The moment when they listen to that wisdom, they will look as if they can understand. But then after that, they will forget and they'll still live on that filthy life. Nobody knew what is Persian Empire, isn't it? Iran, Afghanistan. Iran, Afghanistan. And then that traces to the Babylon. And that is why United States of America today became Babylon. These Islam, Judaism, they are super cunning. They went to all nations and they enslaved all nations and they mandated all nations to be Islam nations, including India is like that. Some part of it, they left it out for a reason. I will reveal it later. What would you all have done? Okay, so we are still working on the finance part of it, the scandal and a scandal. So all these things people never knows. For people's eyesight, when they are looking into a TV show or a movie, there will be advertisement coming, commercials will be coming, or Super Bowl or like that, the commercial will be coming. And they'll watch that commercial, that's all. There are some commercial which even provides, adverse, unhealthy commercials, right? How many commercials they have to display nudity and they get paid out of it, right? They come under the classification of modeling, they come under the classification of advertisement and movie category. Doctor says it's okay. It's okay to destroy human brains. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brink says it's okay when being doctors, right? And some commercials, they hit right on that sentiments of the human feelings, about the family values like that. But then it's just an advertisement. Real time, it's not like that. They just want to make the population to fall in trap. The Medicaid operations like Humana or Cigna or Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Health Group or Hewlett Packard, they all say we all work to eradicate poverty, we all work to provide opportunity for single moms or poverty-stricken population. They advertise like that, isn't it? Be it St. Mary's Hospital or St. Jude Hospital, they all advertise like that only, with sweetest talk, sweetest everything. Honey will be bitterest more. But in real time, it's not like that. It all comes down to the business. how much dollars the Hewlett-Packard can make, how much dollars that United Health Group can make, how much dollars that Humana or Aetna or Anthem or Blue Cross Blue Sheet can make. So one side, so that means, can you see, hiring processes of a crime. I provided a scandal. Now, this, what will they say about this this type of a scandal? What is Hewlett-Packard going to say about that, right? In the advertisement, they provide all the sweetest talk. Just they want the population to get all their products. Hewlett-Packard has all its products. So people are fans with Hewlett-Packard products. So then they get all the dollars, tax, and they can grow. So now tell me, they got the Medicaid, Medicare project from the federal government, saying that federal government, we will also create a lot of healthy jobs. We will provide jobs for the single moms or the divorced people or widowed people or widowers or homeless or refugees like that, and we will provide their economic status to be improved. And the federal government gets fooled. They will sign that contract. Now this end, they want to provide the advertisement and marketing strategy. They'll provide the sweetest talk. But in real time, it's not that. Can you see why Hewlett-Packard have to go to the jail right now? It's not only Hewlett-Packard. Hewlett-Packard, MetLife, any insurance, you name it, all must be in the jail. So one side, hiring processing is a scandal and a scandal. Right? And then they are relying on the advertisement and providing that scandal. It's all for tax process only. Tax process. Right? What would you all have done? What would you all have done? Okay. So why I have to provide all these things? Now, in that credit cards processing, I already said everything. All these must be entered in the program logic behind the scenes, my dear fellow mankind. That is why these sessions are taking longer. Otherwise, I would have just read it in a 10-minute session or 5-minute session, right? Fastest way. So these are all by the time you swipe the credit card, all these logics must be written in the software code. Imagine the complexity of the people who are working in the software world, right? Why they get mad when people are just like that going them asking them to change everything. It's not that easy. I'm proving that also. So then the claims processing, underwriting processing, the marketing, the advertising strategy, everything comes in place, right? So these all will hit in that the moment you're going to swipe the card. Then I already said how it's going to look into the late fees and everything, and they get to send it to the collections agencies, how the collections agencies are providing their end of the scandal is also created for the tax process, right? They think they are the gods, but not anymore. I slapped on their face, isn't it? When people don't know how to behave like a human, then we have to step up and step in and educate what is to be human. I slapped on the entire collections agencies worldwide. They are all handcuffed by me after all. Pope Francis will not even say a word. He will be fried in volcano because he knows why I handcuffed all the collections agencies. Queen Elizabeth knows why I handcuffed all the collections agencies organizations worldwide. Okay, that is one end. Now when these are going to happen, what will happen? They will have to go and look into the credit score. So credit score means in a very high level, okay, user-friendly level, what it does is whether a civilian can pay the monthly bill. If he or she is going to get a grocery from Walmart, how soon or how correctly he's paying that bill to the Walmart. Is he paying on time? Is he paying always late? Or he's not even paying it? What? So they will provide that kind of analysis and they will come up with their own way of scoring. That's a scandal. I handcuffed that agency as well. Be aware, the finance services are in a very much bad shape right now. Associated Bank is in very bad shape right now. I'm helpless mode, right? I'm absolutely helpless mode. Because the crime the finance services is provided is skyrocketing. Can you all see? So collection agencies, sales tax, federal tax and state tax. That's a crime. Then they also, once when the collection agencies is providing that scandal, they will send whatever, whatnot. They can provide lot of crime in that and then send it to the credit score bureau. And that agency, they will collect that data and they can cook up their own story. And then they can provide a score, which is a scam. The score means, oh, you are having a good credit card score, that is 800. Oh, now you can get all the loans you want, like that. Oh, you have a very bad credit score. See? You're not even fit to live here. See? You're a bad credit score. They will discriminate. So, Pope Francis wanted population to discriminate population based out of the credit score. So that means Associated Bank will not provide loan for a bad credit score. It comes under the discrimination, domestic violence of war crime. Can you see that how not even one finance insurance, everybody is going to the jail, even American Family Insurance is also in jail. They will have to provide discrimination. But when they're hiring, they'll say there is no discrimination. But you see, they are providing discrimination. When they're providing a commercials and in the television, they'll say, oh, there is no other product, no other bank like Associated Bank. We always love only consumers. We love to retain the consumers in Associated Bank. But it's not the reality. The Hewlett-Packard will provide its advertisement. We became the Medicaid gurus. So we only provide economic improvement for the poverty population. Reality, it's not like that. They discriminate, right? Because then the credit bureau will send that report back to the Walmart or insurance or whatever. And then that will again go and hit into the rate engine. So rate engine is the brain. Did I say underwriting is a backbone and claims is a brain? Yeah. So another part of the brain is rate engine. Why? Then for us, we are from the retail side, when you're swiping the card, you're going to get the bill. So that rate engine means that's what it does. Okay, this civilian got 1 gallon of milk, 1 dozen of eggs, and 1 loaf of bread, and 1 jam bottle, and 1 apple fruit, and 1 bell pepper. So total is $20, $25 or whatever, sales tax, federal tax, this tax, and these all must be added in the calculator, right? That is done by the rate engine. So it collects the risk codes from underwriting, for the calculator, right? The question and answer sessions. And then from the claims side, it includes that also. Then the credit score, it includes that also into that pool, the rate engine pool. And then it calculates everything and then provides it as a bill when you're going to swipe the card in your Walmart. So look at how much of transaction the software code does right before from swiping the card to getting that bill from the cash counter. Right? It's the same thing in the insurance. It's the same thing in the banking sector. Everything. So the rate engine means it's an engine. It's a database where it calculates it's almost like a calculator. Right? See, if it is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, then it's easy calculation. Right? But then if you have to calculate for more, then there needs to be calculator. The calculator comes handy, right? And they have to add the same calculator in an algorithm logic and write it as a software code. So one civilian can get $30 of grocery. One civilian can get 500 worth of grocery. Same transaction, same swipe of card. Nobody can define nobody. Right? I already said. Nobody can define if the civilian is going to get $500 worth of Lay's chips. Nobody can ask him or her, why are you getting $500 worth of Lay's chip? Right? And if another civilian can get $500 only tobacco, or a $500 worth of alcohol, right? Or $500 of just only milk. Nobody can define nobody. Right, but then how these calculations are going to done means it is that I'm just providing a very high level education on that. So these are all the different divisions that works as a team. Right, in big corporations, it's all same only, but it's different. Retails, it should be different. Insurance, different, right? Hospitals, different, like that. But then how all this scandal is proved by I am that I am, right? You all need to know. People never knows, right? When we are going to swipe the card next time, the moment the people are going to swipe their card is going to be either MasterCard or Visa card. It can be any brand or it can be from any bank. No matter what they're going to swipe in the Walmart or a bank or ATM, or paying the bills anywhere, Best Buy, anywhere, right? Retails, mortgage, rental eviction, anywhere. They know how many pieces of zillions of lines of software lines of code is written behind that, behind scenes. And how fast is it has to do. It has to hit on all these logics, gateways, and then provide the end transaction. Then the transaction completes. Once the moment we get the bill in our hand, the transaction completes for one civilian. Then the second in the queue, the civilian in the queue will swipe his card or even write the check. Right? So, can you all see why they never even provided this kind of an educator to the population? Because they wanted population to be fools. Right? How many hidden fees that we have been paying this credit card and debit card and check without any awareness, and they've been collecting it. They are the beggars after all. Right? Indirect beggars. Sophisticated indirect beggars, that's all. Right? And on top of it, they are providing late fees and interest after interest. They really don't care. And foreclosures, rental evictions, bad credit score. Right? How many, for how long people have to tolerate this kind of a scandal? And by the time when they see the medical billing is too costly, right? $5,000 for test lab, then $5,000 for hospital visit, then $5,000 for doctor's appointment, then $5,000 for medical drugs, then $5,000 for hospital administration billing, then $5,000 for network providers billing, and people will get $20,000 or $50,000. They'll go bankrupted. They will die out of stress. Who created this scandal? Poor Francis. Nobody able to figure it out. But at least who provided that pathway to track down and crack down the crime? You all got it. The credit goes to only one president, Barack Obama. At least he saved himself with that one little kind of random act of kindness, isn't it? He's a lawyer. At least he provided that as a stepping stone. It's a baby steps only. Lot more needs to be done. It's at a fault mode only. Not even one Medicare, Medicaid processing, then affordable healthcare exchange, everything is a crap only, garbage only. But then he provided that one pathway road to just crack down and nail down on the true criminal. Right? So, each leadership qualities displays in a unique, distinct way. The talent is talent, right? So that means President Barack Obama never knew that I, Vethapriya, will crack down the crime. Facebook never knew that I will crack down the crime. Google, Apple, and Microsoft never knew that I will crack down the crime. Hewlett-Packard, Walmart, and Amazon never knew that I will crack down the crime. They all became jealous of me and they threw acid on me because survival mode, because entire their software services is wrong, isn't it? They have to answer the federal government. Versus I'm displaying everything is wrong, yeah, all must be sealed and shut down, all must be sealed and shut down, all must be sealed and shut down means you're all laughing. Right now, United States of America must seal and shut down everything. Everything you name for a public operations and everything you name for a private operations, everything must be sealed and shut down and everything must be thrown on the chair. People got it when I was educating in the Poverty-Free Earth End of the Year 2030 Volunteer Project. Got it? So, yes, my dear fellow mankind. So this is the last part of the credit card transactions part. So when I'm saying credit card, even the loans, let's say loans processing, it all have to hit on this processing only. So credit card hits on the same process. Then debit card hits on the same process. Gift card also hits onto the same process. But how there is a loophole, they left it out on mandate because they wanted population to pay more dollars for whatever they're paying, getting it from the business line of credit. Right? When people are paying minimum due, the balance must be reducing every month. That is how the calculator should have been working. Now tell me, for me I'm having $10,000, $10,000 plus dollars. Imagine what if the people are having 50,000 credit card debt or loans debt, the homeowners loan debt, what they will do. Imagine. Oh, there are how many people would have died out of a heart attack out of that, right? For me, God giving me the strength to handle it, right? So it's Pope Francis going to be fried, my dear fellow mankind. Pope Francis. They do not even, there is no need for any systems to have the credit score to provide this kind of a services. No. Are they asking any credit score for Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis? No, right? No, never, right? Because they are not in any of the systems, if you see. That is a patterns of abuse. They want to get out of that government operations because they know once when they're in any of the operating systems, they are the ones first will be thrown in ashes because the program logic will first ask that question only, right? So without asking anything, they're getting free medical, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis. Crime, war crime. Without asking any questions, they get to have lands, free lands and free palaces, mansions, anywhere in the earth. Zero, without any percentage, they get zero loans. They don't even have to pay for their maintenance of their homes and palaces. Crime, war crime, count two. It all comes under the manslaughter, homicide type of crime this banking sector has provided. There is no escape for the banking sectors for the crime they provided. Sorry. Right? They lost eligibility to apologize to the population. When homeless never did anything, they could have provided the same kind of loans and everything, how they could have improved their economic status for the homeless and refugees and divorced population, single moms and teen moms, right? They never bothered to provide that. For Pope Francis killing the African American every single day, Pope Francis is allowed to live free in his palace. What would you all have done? For torturing African Americans by rejecting with all the national benefits, Queen Elizabeth II is allowed to live in the Buckingham Palace tax-free. What would you all have done, my dear fellow mankind? What would you all have done? Tell me, what would you all have done? So, this session is all about FICO score. So, like the government wanted to create that credit score scandal, right? So, they wanted to create an organization called as a FICO score organization. It's called the Credit Bureau Services. Okay, and I already provided all the scams. So then there became 3 organizations. They say, oh, see, government, we 3 organizations can step in and provide that services for you. We become the vendors for you, like that. So that is called as a TRANSUNION and EQUIFAX and EXPERIAN. And yes, there is a new one called Credit Karma. But then these are all, I want to provide a very umbrella level of organizations only. So they are handcuffed by me. You name any collection agencies, they are all providing manslaughter and the homicide kind of a deadliest war crime with that collections agencies scandal alone. So that is why all the banking sectors, Associated Bank to Freddie Mac, Freddie Mae to US Bank to Citibank to you name it, World Bank to Scotland Bank to Germany Bank, all are hit by this crime and they all must end up in jail. They all have to wait for the mercy, my mercy only. It's a waiting list mode. Because I will say just wait in the jail because I have to display all the crime to the population. Just wait. Then I will step in and I can bail out later. Right? The crime is deadliest. Nobody can help nobody. I cannot help Associated Bank right now. Can you see? I cannot help Citibank right now. All I'm saying, Citibank, just pay whatever you took away from me. You took $4,500, pay $5,000. Then you mandated the poverty mandate with debt, pay off the $10,000+ in full. Then for this kind of crime, I must get $1,500 trillion. And I'm frying poor Francis in ashes. If he's going to say rosary or what or crap he wants to say, he can say. He can say that in the volcano in Hawaii. Right? He can beg to me, see, Vethapriya, I'm 84 years old, please, don't provide me death penalty. I will ask, for how long United States of America provided death penalty? Why on the earth, being a Pope Francis and God of UC, you never stepped in and prevented that? When you are the one who gave the criminal law handbook, that crap, that Islam, Judaism crap, written in French book to the United States of America and destroyed the justice organizations? He will say, okay, Vethapriya, I will go and run and jump in the volcano and die in ashes. For me, I feel that is rightful. This is what Pope Francis will say, right? Nobody will dare to ask me why. Nobody. So can you see how healthy operations could have been provided healthy way, but mandated to provide it as a loophole, and how the population became poverty. It is Pope Francis who created poverty, my dear fellow mankind. And second in line are doctors, and Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks proved it with their display of filthiness, right? They proved it. Everybody wants a proof, right? The Department of Health Services wanted to prove. They're going to pay me $500 billion. When Dr. Brinks and Dr. Fauci proved that they are the poverty creators, DHS is the poverty creators. Department of Welfare Services, they say they are going to eradicate poverty, but they are the poverty creators. Tax agencies say they are going to prevent the poverty, but they are the poverty creators. Justice says they are going to eradicate poverty, and they are the poverty creators. They are all the filthiest prostitutes after all. Right? Or if you're going to see, everything traces back to that St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican. And this session is also close to 2 hours. right? A very important crime. This is a crime, right? When the bank is going to discriminate population based out of the credit score, it's a war crime. It's a homicide, manslaughter type of a crime, classification code. When doctors never educated about the crime to the banking sectors, it is not my problem. It is, I already said, it is Dr. Fauci's job. It is Dr. Brink's job to must have sit down next to the banking sectors and educated what is crime and what is not crime. Right? When the same United States of America is providing all the loans to President Trump to build a Trump Tower in Bombay, in India, or anywhere in India, that's a tax fraud crime. I can have entire United States of America to be thrown in jail for that crime. Do you all know that? That means all 50 states, all governors, everything, 300 million of population also can be thrown on the jail right now, this moment, for that crime. Right? Amazon gets to have a facility in India, and that loans are provided to Amazon. Right? Amazon can be sealed and shut down next second. Nobody will ask me why. Facebook can have a facility in India and they get to have all the loans free for them being a prostitute, right? They all know what kind of a word it's been used to be called us. I only stepped in, and when I was started to provide the education, people started to call that tool, the filthiest tool, rightful way, Facebook. Right? So today at this moment, entire United States of America must be thrown in the jail only for the crime they provided in the tax fraud. Facebook provided tax fraud. Amazon provided tax fraud. Ford provided tax fraud. Everybody's hit on their forehead, and I nailed them. I nailed on the true crime. Benz can say, I already said, all the automobile manufacturing company will only give me the cars, vehicles free to me with the competition. Benz wants to give their cars free to me. I will take it. Rolls-Royce will also say they want to give their cars to me free. I will take it. I will not say I don't need that. Ford will say they will give it. They want to give their cars free. I'll take it. Ford, Toyota, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, Nissan, Mazda, right? Porsche, sports car, and I don't know what more of the brands. There are so many brands that's coming every single. Tesla. Did I pronounce it correctly? Tesla. Yeah, I will take it. It's going to be the same for the home real estate agencies also. Everybody going to compete, and they are going to say, okay, here Vethapriya, this African nation land, we want to provide this land free to you. Poland going to say that. Czechoslovakia going to say that. Right? Germany, France, Ireland, London, Scotland, India, China, Japan, Korea, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Oman, Qatar, and you name any, Australia, New Zealand, right? You name any islands, all will provide free lands to me right now, right? That is beyond, I own all the nations part of it, because I displayed the crime upfront and I educated 7.9 plus billions using that public mental health process to know the basic rights. Humans should know the civil rights, right? They never knows about this deadliest score, the credit score scandal that's going on, and the collections agency scandal that's going on. All these evil forces will be gone in ashes, my dear fellow mankind. That is why I am providing the civil justice as the highest priority. Yes. Today, if I go to India, I don't have a home to go and stay. I don't own a home, I would say that way. You're all laughing, isn't it? I know you're all laughing. For me, God is there. That means in India, if you're not owning a home, you'll not be treated like, one of the civilians. Are you laughing? I know you're laughing. Even among your family members, that discrimination will be there. Oh, he's not even owning a land or owning a home. Oh my, he's a waste. He's useless. Oh, and top of it, he's unemployed too. Okay, then, and even if we try to talk to those family members or relatives, they will try to prevent. They'll prevent. Meaning they will avoid. Or what if they are going to ask any kind of a help? They'll avoid. I know you're all laughing. I own all nations, isn't it? I own dust by dust. And you all keep working. Why? All the nations will compete and say they want to provide free lands to me. Why? Why on the earth all the costliest, when I'm saying all these automobile vehicles, they are costliest, right? And they are going to, they will be competing to provide the free vehicles to me. And free lands, free housings worldwide. It is going to be my choice, right? There again, where I want to go and live, where I want to live, it's my choice, right? You all keep working on why entire human kingdom fell down on knees before me. Who am I? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this credit score agency and then the collections agency, it's a deadliest $1 trillion tax revenue crime organizations was created for that alone, and it is created only to mandate poverty. Population never knew. Whenever the moment they say, sorry, your billing is sent to the collections, they want to keep the knife on your neck and say to the population that they are the gods and population cannot ask anything, and they will anyways become poverty, right? Not anymore. These collection agencies in the finance services, they have created war crimes. Tell me how many collections agencies, how many war equipments and uranium-236 and Las Vegas Sin City and prostitution facilities like Playboy all went to the collections agencies? Nothing, zero. Can you all see the crime provided by Associated Bank, Citibank, and AT&T, US Cellular, Sprint? They should have sent the collections agencies of Queen Elizabeth to create a slave ship. That is a cost. That's the dollars, right? They never did that. They never threw acid and scars and mandated poverty for Queen Elizabeth too. Then now on the earth they can even do for the poverty for the population in United States of America and worldwide. Can you all see the crime and a crime and a crime and a crime and a crime? And why Associated Bank and all the other banks, Citibank, AT&T, Sprint, all must be in the jail right now? I already said. The collections agency the other day when I was begging, please waive it. They were talking as if they are the gods. They can tear me in pieces. They can throw acid after acid on me. But sadly, that collections agency never knows that I am the true owner of all nations and I am the true owner of Sprint. Now today, Sprint must be in the jail, right? Why? The Sprint must be in the jail. Get it? When the Sprint not sending any billing to from the Las Vegas or the racing course or prostitution facilities or alcohol or tobacco to the credit bureau, it created this crime. Right? The Sprint created the manslaughter, deadliest domestic violent crime. I can seal and shut down Sprint next half a second, right? What would the Sprint CEO would have done if his billing is sent to the collections and if he's mandated to be poverty mode? So why, when people don't know what is humanity, then I have to step in and educate humanity. That's all. It's as simple as that. Take the cane and stand in front of them and educate. Hey, this Roman Empire don't know what is human. This is what is human, my dear fellow mankind. This is how I will discipline. $1,500 trillion for the telecom industry scandal means Sprint is fried in ashes, isn't it? Verizon is fried in ashes. AT&T is fried in ashes. World Wide Web is fried in ashes, right? Then the web traffic providers like Cisco and other competitors, they're all fried in ashes, right? Apple, Google, Microsoft, they're all fried in ashes. Crime after crime. When the banking sectors and finance sectors knows how to create poverty, they should know I can make all the finance agencies to be beggars in 1 second. $1,500 trillion is enough. Associated Bank will faint and pass out in heart attack because their systems will not even handle $1,500 trillion in their system at the first place, which it should handle it. Right? It should handle it. Yes, my dear fellow mankind. It is like the crime I'm displaying, I'm becoming helpless more. I'm not even able to help the Associated Bank for this crime is crime, right? So even for sending these things to the collections agency, they have discrimination. Las Vegas and city casinos, they are not sent to collections agencies. Prostitution, like Playboy things and pornography, or sexting, they are not sent to the credit card score processing. Adverse movies and whichever created by Hollywood, they will not send to the collections agencies. Pope Francis mandated that loophole. Not anymore. I chopped the head of the Pope Francis and Sprint is watching it. I chopped the head of Pope Francis and Apple is watching it. Why Pope Francis' head is chopped off? Right? Verizon and AT&T and US Cellular is watching why Pope Francis' head is chopped off. Right? Because he misguided every single operations and destroyed the operations. This is not how the credit score should work, and there is no need for the credit score after all. Why? Why even have to discriminate people based out of you got a credit score, high credit score? Is it a report card? It's a report card in a different form, that's all. It was created to create mandate discrimination in bullying and mocking, right? So these finance services knows that I can also provide mocking and bullying. Innocent people can also provide mocking and bullying. It's just that abusive people don't know that when the innocent population start to bully and mock, the abusive population provided bullying and mocking will burn in ashes, right? You all got it. It is always the innocent, they will not even waste time in bullying and mocking. They'll always like only clean love. They'll always run in clean love. And they'll always be celebrating true love. The brain will not even think of mocking, bullying, creating, hurting. No. Only fools will have that time. They'll have to get trained and they'll have that time to bully and mock. What would I have done? So even if I go to India right now, I do not have, I do not own a land. Right? When I'm saying I'm do not have owning a land, I don't have a place to live for my own. Okay, I can go to India now, now I can stay here. No, like that. Right? All my family members owns land, owns home. Because it's a normal thing. It's a very normal thing, and when people do not have own a home, they'll be looked down by your own family members. Because that economy difference, it's like that. They'll be treated trash. They'll be treated less than trash. So your own family members will not get any bit of that respect also. And it's here also same, right? When people don't have enough money, people will not be respecting. Families, friends, workplace, they all based out of that stereotyping kind of a love, right? What would I love? So for destroying humanity, Pope Francis is given to live a place in palace. Right? For Queen Elizabeth created that uranium-236 nuclear bomb to be thrown in the Hiroshima, she is allowed to live free in the Buckingham Palace. For AT&T, Sprint, and US Cellular treating population as a trash and mandating poverty by throwing that bills to that collections agencies and impacting the credit score in a wrongful way, they are allowed to live in their mansions. For hospitals providing a 50,000 medical bill to the population, the hospitals, the St. Mary's Hospital and the St. Jude's Hospital and the Humana and the Hewlett-Packard, they are all get to live in their mansions free. Right? So discrimination. When people do not have money, people will not respect people, right? Their self-esteem will be stripped off. Because when they are in financial disability mode, they have to seek the finance assistance. They're begging mode, right? So their self-esteem will be stripped off. Your own families and children will not respect. When you do not have the money, financial stable, and you're in a begging mode for finance, your own family members, your own children will not respect you. Who created this hell? Who created this hell? So if at all I have to go to the India and I have to live in extended family's house. And you all know, 1 week it will be good, 2 weeks it will be good, 3rd week, even in the middle of the 2nd week itself it will start. Means discomfort mode. Own relatives only. Own blood only. It can be your own brothers, it can be your own sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, grandmas, grandparents, friends, right? The moment a civilian is thrown in financial disabled mode, a beggar mode, nobody will respect. You can be super talent with your skills. So even if you are unemployed, in India and all, they'll mock. They will tear down the pieces, the civilians who are unemployed. They will die out of that shame only. No respect, right? I'm sure, I'm positive that Indian government will absolutely step up and provide me free land and free housing, free vehicle. I'm absolutely positive on that. Why? You all know why. When I was working in Poverty Free Earth End of the Year 2030 volunteer project, I provided a lot of help, right? I already said I was the one who provided the design for the Indian National Benefits Card called ADHAR. It's just that the Prime Minister of India, Modi, don't know that I only provided that design. If at all the Prime Minister of India, Modi, knows that I only provided that solutions. I provided all other solutions. I already educated in my earlier sessions. You all go and watch and see, right? Prime Minister of India, Modi, will only resign and will ask me, beg me to come back to India and become Prime Minister of India. And will provide me free lands and free housing of everything like a palace. Do you all know that? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, because that is $1 trillion worth of design I provided. From the scratch I provided. And that's a lot, right? I helped 1.3 billion of population in India. Nobody knows. I only provided that help to them. So all these people, the software people are getting into the credit card business. It's all a part of the team only. It's all part of the task in a task in a task. You all got it now. Why Apple created Apple Credit Card, right? It's all for a healthy processing. The task has been going on. I provided that task and they are all working on that task. I know about that. I'm absolutely positive when Microsoft will come up with its own credit card product like Coco. Because it's all for team. It is all for a purpose. I provide that a task and they are working on that task. And I'm displaying it, right? Today, for that I design solutions I provided, India has to pay me a salary. Right? It is Indian government has to pay me the salary for the design solutions I provided for that electronic benefit card called ADHAR. Electronic National Benefits Card called ADHAR. And I saved the lives of 1.3 billion of humans. India never knew why I was asking them to come up with that card. I just said what I said. I was toughest, right? I was very toughest. I said, stand upside down, do whatever, just come up with that card. Even if it's having errors, is okay, just come up with that card. Highest priority. Boom, with God-given strength, they came up with the card. It means comforter. That other translates means comforter. It's still in the baby steps only. Long way to go. It's just that India has to pay me a lot of salary for that. I can ask how much salary I want, right? I can say, hey, India government, hey, Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, please pay me 25 crores Indian rupees for a salary. It is the cheapest, right? It's the cheapest I'm asking for because this electronic national benefit card design I provided is $1 trillion of worth of 550,000 years worth of project right there I provided. It is Indian government has to pay me a salary right now. USA government have to pay me the salary. When I said I'm not joking, each nation have to pay me salary, be it Australia, be it Poland, be it London, be it China. I already said European nations got my wisdom already. Right? They want to come out of that European Union, they could not. The Brexit is one of the live thing. How when people get into this kind of a evil force scam, how they cannot even come out of it. They have to provide a closure. For some reason, they provided a scam and they said they signed a closure with the Brexit. Right? What would you all have done, my dear fellow mankind? What would you all have done? So this particular session is all about the collections agencies and how they create poverty. The collections agencies, that means all the finance sectors should not even have collections agency divisions. So that means right now Sprint should shut down its collections agency, and Hewlett-Packard and Apple and Microsoft and Google and did I miss any? Yeah, all the vehicle industries, all the public sectors, all the private sectors, they all must seal and shut down. First division in their organization is the collections agency and credit bureau agency. Just provide a block, boom. Remove all that software logic right there. It cannot be happened in one single day. Everywhere it's going to hit and it'll crash, right? Associated Bank must be in the jail for provided collections agency manslaughter crime and for provided credit score manslaughter crime. American Family Insurance must be in the jail for provided collections agency manslaughter crime and credit score manslaughter crime. These are all coming under the classification of crucifixions, and they do not have any birthright to provide these kind of a crime and enforce poverty for the mankind. We population never knew of all these scandals that's going on. And when they are not able to educate, I'm just educating it, and they threw acid on me. This is why they threw acid on me. Right? The doctors should have educated. But doctors never did that because they want to be prostituting with Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis. They are busy prostituting with them, so they never bothered whether population got tortured or not. They left out. Okay, finance services, if you're having loopholes, it's okay, like that. It's healthiest like that. What would you all have done, my dear fellow mankind? What would you all have done? Okay. This session went long, but it's still worth it, right? Because you all got it. Wow, how the advertisement and marketing, they are making a scandal one side. Workplace hiring process, how they are making a scandal on one side. They are not even looking onto whether the civilians having rightful talent or not, right? And how they are having collections agencies and credit agency, and how that is a crime, and population never knows why the credit score is going low or impacting, right? Everything of the software logic is mandated to create on a poverty mode only. So Senate like Bernie Sanders or Mitt Romney never knows about this crime. Nobody will have that clue what's going on behind the software side or this financial crisis side. Highest level, they know something is not right. Something is fishy. But how long they will be telling that only forever? Whenever the elections are coming, they will always talk about this crime only. But they never provided how to fix it. Means they never got it. Bernie Sanders never got it. That's why he never became president. Mitt Romney never became president because he never able to figure it out. But President Obama, Barack Obama, he knew, like all the other peers, he also knew there is something that's really going not right. But he just provided that stepping stone, a pathway stone, a road map. And that administration only, World Bank only asked, are there any civilian who could step up and work committed on eradicating poverty by year 2030. And I stepped in and worked on that project. And I completed its project success. That is why people knows, give this task to this lady, it will be done. When people fears to work on a task, just give this task to this lady Vethapriya, she will crack it down and it will be done successful and flawless and excellent way, right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, not even one public sectors, not even one private sectors must have collections agencies or credit score bureau. It is a deadliest coming under the domestic violence of war crime and coming under the crime of homicide, manslaughter, and mandating poverty comes under the manslaughter only. Finance services do not have any birthright to enforce poverty by sending these impacts to the collections agencies. No. I will ask, how many finance banking sectors sent the war crimes, the war equipments built by Queen Elizabeth II to the collections agencies and made for Queen Elizabeth II poverty in past 500 years? Then all the Associated Bank, Citibank will keep quiet. Right? They will say to me, Vethapriya, okay, Vethapriya, it's always best for us. We'll be in the jail for now. It's okay. I will be quiet. You become the leader of Vatican. You sign off the job and we'll wait for you to come and bail us out. This is what the banking sector, this is what the Associated Bank will say to me right now. Because I'm helpless mode right now. For me to even help them, I have to be in that authority mode, right? I have to get the job offer. Pope Francis must resign. So I nailed him on the forehead. How the team process operates, right? It is successful, isn't it? Nobody knew who is the creator of all this hell. Who is that black sheep? Who is that villain? Nobody knew. Is it a black? Is it a white skin? Is it a green skin? Is it an engineer? Is it a doctor? Is it a lawyer? People brain were thinking on that level. People brains never even looked on whether it will be the absolute monarchs, and I cracked that crime. Yes, my dear fellow mankind. Yes. I should be the leader of all nations, isn't it? Each nation will only want me to be their leader. I know about that, right? You all know about it. And because I educated the wisdom. People love wisdom after all. It's just that the population wanted the rightful guidance and the rightful leadership. A true leader only can provide that guidance. Otherwise, a foolish leader will misguide the national operations. Anyways, this session is also going long. It is 2 hours and 22 minutes, so I will quickly read through the civil justice, which is not very long, like earlier sessions. It's just the overview part of, I want to step in and educate the crime in the live mode, right? So people will know how they are getting the credit score impacted in the wrongful, injustice way. First of all, the billing should never be even sent to the collections agencies. No, that is a crime. That's a war crime. Creating poverty for a fellow mankind is a war crime. So what is Associated Bank going to say about that? They cannot say a word, right? They will all have their face down in a shameful way. How they all got fooled by this Pope Francis. And I said, Pope Francis destroyed the entire services and they laid me off. They never got that message, isn't it? Because always, whenever I talk out of the box. And they never got it. Why I was only saying the truth, the raw truth. If at all I would have been in the design solution team, then it would have been a different thing. Then the Pope Francis would have been fried right there. Because I would have displayed the same crime, same everything to the Associated Bank, right? Now, all the banks are watching and all the banks knew their crime and they all are running towards the jail, be it Bank of America or Germany Deutsche Bank or Scotland Bank from Scotland. All are running towards the jail. They're panic mode. They know that getting into the jail is a better position right now because Vethapriya alone can come and bail them out. Nobody can bail financial services for the crime they provided. So, with that said, I will read through this civil justice, okay? I, Vethapriya PROSE, proved the deadliest crime and displayed to all nations and entire human kingdom. I, Vethapriya PROSE, excellent layman, true civil doctor that can provide fastest open bypass surgery for eyes, heart, brain for 7.9 plus billions of humans same time and broke the world record for providing divine healing fastest than any robo, and why robots worldwide fears me only, for I am that I am born to save the world, for I displayed deadliest war crime, classification of finance debt, foreclosure and rental eviction, Holocaust Nazism crime to USA government. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want for civil justice as Pope Francis must resign now, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Vatican leader now is civil justice served. All male genders in all nations only created poverty, finance debt, foreclosure and rental eviction and collections agency and credit bureau scandal, credit score scandal. And they proved, the male genders proved that they can never be caregivers. They are health creators, isn't it? For them, they created the law of whatever feel good, whatever creates pleasure to them, they made it as a healthy, organized law. These male genders made prostitution as a law. They made these male genders, the Pope Francis, he made nightclubs as a healthiest law when being God of USA, right? This Pope Francis made a pornography as healthiest organized law when being a God of USA, isn't it? He's a male. Is he a male or a female or a transgender or what is he? He's a prostitute, right? He's a prostitute. The poverty creator. He knows how he can create poverty in what ways, right? As if foreclosure and rental eviction is not even enough, collection agency and credit bureau is created only to create poverty. That's all. Nobody knew. People got fooled. Population got fooled. And they out of the paying from out of their own pocket, how much of dollars they have been paying to the government in an injusticeful way without their awareness, right? Today, all the collections agencies in worldwide are handcuffed by me and thrown on the jail abruptly because no more explanation. These collections agencies are all thrown in the jail abruptly. At least I'm not asking them to go in the volcano, right? They should be happy on that end. So Pope Francis, being a God of USA, mandated alcohol is healthiest and tobacco is healthiest. And finance services prostituting with the Pope Francis says, oh, okay, is it alcohol healthiest? Okay, we'll not send any of the transactions to the collections agency. Now you all must got the trace to that puzzle to why few months ago state of Tennessee had that out of nowhere that van went and did some blast. It's an indirect message saying that Vethapriya is going to take down the Jack Daniels alcohol in state of Tennessee, like that. Right? So let's say when a civilian is talking to the Tennessee Jack Daniels and ordering an order over the Sprint carrier provider phone or a AT&T or US cellular phone, they are not going to send that to the collections agency. Why? Because they are prostituting with Pope Francis, that's all. And Queen Elizabeth too. The collections agencies and credit bureau. When they are prostituting, it is so busy, right? So this is how the crime is provided. Now, so you all got it. I must be the Prime Minister of India. I must be the Prime Minister of Australia. I must be the Prime Minister of London. I must be the Prime. They are all coming under the British rule and the Parliament, right? So that is why they all have Prime Minister. They are all puppets to Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II only. And I was not joking. When Prime Minister Mr. Modi will say that he will resign and ask me to be the Prime Minister of India, I was not joking. Right? That's the reason behind it, and they all fear me. President, Prime Minister Mr. Modi fallen down in knees before me. "70 years, close to 70 years, and beyond. How much of torture the entire 1.3 plus billions of humans of India had to undergo without any kind of a help. Yes, there are 5% educated people from Harvard Business School in India too. They never helped. They never helped India, no. Nobody helped India. Apple never helped, Google never helped, Microsoft never helped, nobody helped. Not even one man or not even one woman stood up and helped India. I took the cane in my hand and you all got it. How I was running all the nations, not one nation, all nations. Boom, 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 task after task after task after task, right? Okay, so with that said, there are no males, but males are portraying themselves as the caregivers. They are the gurus, they are the gods, they only jumped from heaven because they are all sperm providers. They can only create babies. This is how all the confused brain says. I already educated. Worldwide it's the same only. Right? But there is another understanding on that population side that evil women must never rule a nation. You all know what happened, and it's happening. Queen Elizabeth II is evil, right? But she became a behind-the-scenes health creator, and in the front line, there's only London Prime Minister. He's a puppet. They're all prostituting with Queen Elizabeth II. They will say, if Queen Elizabeth says London to destroy population, they will destroy. Not anymore. I am there, right? I am there. That is why when I am there, all the Europe nations, they guarded. They guarded who am I, and they all are hiding behind me, including the London Prime Minister or Scotland Prime Minister or whoever it is, Australia, whatever. They all guarded who am I, and they are hiding behind me. So what did I prove? All male genders in all nations only created poverty, finance debt, foreclosure, and rental eviction, and collections agency, and credit score agency. These are all mandated to create for poverty. Population never knew. That's very saddest, isn't it? So, I, Vethapriya, PROSE proved males can never be caregivers. So Pope Francis will run from Vatican and he'll jump in volcano and he'll die in ashes, right? He will not even say, see Vethapriya, Pope Francis is a very excellent caregiver. That is why I mandated foreclosure. Will he say that to me? I know you're all laughing, isn't it? Will you say that to me? Or will Pope Francis say, see Vethapriya, I am Pope Francis, I am God of USA, and I also jumped from heaven. That is why I mandated rental eviction, poverty mandate. That way, population will market population, right? I only created. Will you say that to me? Will Pope Francis will say, Vethapriya, see, I am Pope Francis, you see, I jumped from heaven to be called as the God of USA. That is why I mandated collections agency and also the credit bureau agency. That way, population can be fried in more hot oil and I, Pope Francis, can enjoy that suffering, you see. Will you say that to me? Now tell me, will Pope Francis, will he say whether he loved a woman or he never loved a woman? I nailed on his forehead, isn't it? There's a reason behind it, my dear fellow mankind. That sentence, you just have it on your hearts and I will reveal it, why I was saying that. Be patient. More crime is there to come. Don't you all have to puke? Puke, 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 puke. Puke now. And Queen Elizabeth II only created poverty, finance, debt, foreclosures, and rental eviction, and collections agency and FICO score scandal of poverty mandate. So I, Vethapriya, proved there are never women, for total women population in earth is evil prostitutes. Can you all imagine why the men fear the evil prostitutes? It's because of this, the evil women prostitutes. They will tear down humanity in pieces. Queen Elizabeth II did that only, and she got to live in palace for that free, and that to live free. When nothing is free for the population, everything, you name anything, is free for Queen. For created war crimes, for being sex offender, for being rapist, for being a gang rapist, for being mental disordered patient, right? For killing, for manslaughtering, for African slavery ships, what not? For destroying every national operations, government operations, private operations, she got to live free. 100 years gone. Even if I throw her now in volcano, nobody will bother. But it still needs to be done that way only. She must get a disgraceful death for whatever she did to the human kingdom. So, I proved what? There are no women here. So, men are married status means they are the very pathetic status. They are married to the prostitutes worldwide. Right? Okay. So, I, Vethapriya, proved there are never women, for total women population in earth is evil prostitutes worldwide. So, I, Vethapriya, PROSE, true womb of a man, a woman, should be the Vatican leader now, is civil justice served as in Holy Bible guidelines. Can you all understand the emergency why I'm asking I should be the Vatican leader? Because I have to provide all this help to the population. Okay, now question for you, only one question this session, okay? It's the overview session of me stepping in to explain what are each every single things that went long. Who created FICO score? Who created TRANSUNION? Who created EQUIFAX? Who created EXPERIAN? Who created collections agency to civilians worldwide? I will repeat that question one more time. Who created FICO score? It's called as a credit score. TRANSUNION agency, EQUIFAX agency, EXPERIAN agency, collection agency to civilians worldwide. Did you all get the questions correctly? Okay. Is it God of true Christianity? If yes, why? If no, why? I, Vethapriya, PROSE, prove the deadliest crime of the Vatican Code of Abuse law, and Pope Francis must, God of USA, must resign now. And I, Vethapriya, PROSE, must become the Vatican leader now. Okay? So, at fault, the first quarter of 2021 is January 2021, February 2021, March 2021. Deadliest crime is at fault found guilty, Republican government and Democrat of USA and absolute monarchs, Antichrist, Queen Elizabeth II, and Pope Francis created FICO score, TRANSUNION, EQUIFAX, EXPERIAN, loans tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud crime worldwide. It comes under the classification of deadliest war crime. That is why all the financial institutions, no matter what, must be in the jail right now. Antichrist, Pope Francis created FICO score, TransUnion, EQUIFAX, EXPERIAN, loans, debit card tax fraud, and loans tax fraud, credit card tax fraud, and gift card tax fraud crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. Pope Francis is the God of USA, so he do not have any birthright to enforce poverty by creating the credit score or collections agencies or these kind of a crap, but he still created it anyway. So Pope Francis must resign now, and I, Vethapriya, PROSE, must become the Vatican leader now with civil justice served. Antichrist, Queen Elizabeth II created FICO score, TransUnion, EQUIFAX, EXPERIAN, and collections agencies, loans tax credit fraud, and credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, and gift card tax fraud crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. What would you all have done, my dear fellow mankind? Can you all see why everybody threw acid on me and they never got my wisdom? I was only helping them out in the rightful way, in a wisdom way, right? Okay, so with that said, I have one or two more pages to read. For I, Vethapriya, PROSE, proved scandal of absolute monarchs and proved Pope Francis is Roman Empire King hero as of February 2021. Any salary, as in tax-free billions of dollars, USA government can provide effective, immediate, using direct deposit to my bank account. To I am that I am. Vethapriya, PROSE, native Indian tribe, Israelite tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, true owner of all nations worldwide, can help me. Scandal phases of Republica, Europe nations worldwide, Republica at fault found guilty, prostitutes of Europe, USA tax fraud, March of 2021 is proved. So, at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, FICO score, TransUnion, EQUIFAX, EXPERIAN, collection agency, loans tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud crime is provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA, Republican government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA, Democrat government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Queen Elizabeth II provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Pope Francis provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, GOP Mitch McConnell provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, President Trump 2016 to 2020 and President Joe Biden 2020 to 2024 and state governors of 50 states of USA provided tax fraud crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Roman Province Jesuits Organizations of State of Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, New York, New England, Maryland, Louisiana, Missouri, California, Oregon. Now you all got it, right? These Jesuits wearing the burqa of archbishops or bishops or dioceses, they are all the poverty creators after all. Nobody knew. provided tax fraud is crime, is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. Note, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and FICO score and TRANSUNION, EQUIFAX and EXPERIAN and collection agency, loans, credit card, debit card, card tax fraud, created robocall poverty mandate, enforced poverty disabled to I, Vethapriya, PROSE on October 2018 is proved for prostitute Republican government of USA to steal the rightful Supreme Court judge of USA on October 2018. That rightful belonged to I, Vethapriya, PROSE. Civil law must be provided now without delay. So y'all got it, that robocall, beyond stealing the job from me, they all knew, Brett Kavanaugh knew that when the poverty is mandated, the credit score will be impacted. Is he a human? Is Dr. Fauci a human? Is Dr. Brinks a human? Is President Trump a human? Is Mitch McConnell human? Or is Pope Francis, the God of USA, human to you all? Or is Queen Elizabeth II, who created this robocall poverty mandate, is human to you all? $1,500 trillion medical compensation is cheapest medical compensation, isn't it? Don't you all think so? How much of emotional torture and trauma I had to undergo through this? And $2 trillion for the crime Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks provided damages to me. USA must pay me $2 trillion. They cannot get away free. No, they just cannot. If my peers wants to worship Dr. Fauci as a god and want to wear mask forever, it is their choice. They created damages to me, and I want $2 trillion for damages, medical compensation from the US government. It's okay if people are going to shout out that I'm the greediest. I'll just pass by and smile. Nobody can take away my scars, isn't it? Can Brett Kavanaugh create a new brain and give me? Can President Trump create new brain and give me? Can Mitch McConnell create new brain and give me? Can Queen Elizabeth II create new brain and give me? Can all these financial institutions like Walmart create new brain and give me? Can Associated Bank, can they create new brain and give me? When nobody knows what is human, then I have to provide this kind of a civil justice, and $1,500 trillion is enough for the civil justice to be served rightful way, right? Let them go mad. Let Associated Bank go mad, right? Let Walmart go mad. Will they go to their software division and say, shut down all the collections agencies now? They cannot do that, because the systems will crash. But that is a deadliest crime. Associated Bank cannot even come out of the jail until I bail out them. Yes, that is an innocence part, but then beyond that, that's a crime they created, isn't it? Laying off a civilian after hiring, it's a crime. They should provide me a retirement package right now. They have to start preparing to provide me a retirement package, and without talking to me, they should direct deposit to my bank account. And pay me $1 million for the patented design I provided to them. And then I also wanted the base salary, $72,000, even it ought to be $100,000. Right? When nobody knows what is emotional torture, then I have to educate what is emotional torture. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, US Republican government and US Democrat government, as in Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and FICO score, TransUnion, EQUIFAX, EXPERIAN, and collections agency, collections collection agency, loans tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud created, robocall poverty mandate to I Vethapriya PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil Supreme Judge, and Republican government GOP leader Mitch McConnell, President Trump, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh in October 2018 enforced poverty mandate to I Vethapriya PROSE. And abruptly on October 2018, and Republican government of United States of America took away $4,500 on October 2018 abruptly, and enforced finance debt of $10,000+ since October 2018, October 2019, October 2020, and as of January 2021 to February 2021, March 2021, I Vethapriya PROSE enforced finance disability to I Vethapriya PROSE, and it is crime for at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government, and Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and FICO score, TRANSUNION, EQUIFAX, EXPERIAN, and collections agency, loans tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud is crimes created only, that crime only created, robocall poverty mandate is proved. And so, civil justices, I Vethapriya PROSE, want Citibank CEO to pay off my $10,000+ and sign off, and tax-free $5,000, and at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government of USA Democrat government, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, and FICO score, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, collections agencies, loans, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud, crime created, robocall poverty mandate is fatal negligence, so must sign off, tax-free $1,500 trillion to be direct deposited in my bank account for all types of damages done by selfish, cunning, Islam, Judaism, absolute monarchs types, wild endangered species, and hell creators, and at fault and found guilty, Holy Highness God of USA, Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and Republican government of USA will provide needful help accordingly to be in the same page. It's almost close to 3 hours this session also. But it is a display of deadliest crime. Not even one private sectors and public sectors must have collections agency. It is the deadliest war crime. And not even one finance sectors must have collections agencies or credit bureau divisions. It's a crime, war crime. Because nothing comes into the tally in the billing, accounting, right? The war equipment is not there, tobacco is not there, alcohol is not there, pornography not there, then sexting not there, belly dancing not there, then Hollywood, Disney Pictures movies not there, celebrities not there, sports scandal not there, Las Vegas scandals not there. So that much, the billions of billing is not there. Billing division itself is wrong. It's not there. I told that many long lines of software is not read. It's not written. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this is the deadliest crime that needs to be fixed now. President Joe Biden must resign immediately. Immediately means just like that. It will be USA federal government will send the resignation letter notification for President Joe Biden to go back to Delaware, like that mode. The crime is skyrocketing. Everything is broken here, and he's creating a show. And 1.9 trillion budget is a crap, right? I said I will ask only President Joe Biden to eat that and get out. Why he want to fool the population, innocent population, right? What would you all have done? What would you all have done? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this is the deadliest crime that's been going on and that needs to be fixed right now. I only can bail out all these banks, right? I only can bail out these banks. What would you all have done? Why exactly all nations wanted I Vethapriya PROSE to be their national leaders? Why each and every single nation wanted I Vethapriya to be their Supreme Court judge leader, family law judge leader, children law judge leader, medical law judge leader, finance law judge leader? Why? Why all nations fell down in knees before me? Why? Why Germans fear me and all fell down in knees before me? Why? Why? Why and how? What for? What is the scope? What is an objective? What is the profit? What is the gain? What is the loss? Why? Why entire military of entire nations worldwide are hiding behind me? Why nobody will help any of the absolute monarchs when they are going to shout for help? Why? What for? Why? Am I a fighter? Am I a warrior? Who am I? Am I a soldier? Am I a crab? Am I stupid? Who am I? Am I a joker? Who am I? Work on it. Work on it. Please work on it. Who created collections agency? Who created credit card score bureau? Who created foreclosure? Who created rental eviction? Who created poverty? Is it true God of true Christianity? If yes, why? If no, why? Work on that answer. And I chopped the head of Pope Francis, and why I must become the Vatican leader now immediate is a very crucial national operation that needs to be done, right? Because I only can save entire human kingdom. Nobody can. The crime is skyrocketing. It's not a joke. I do not want this Democrat population to provide a joke. I'll say just stop it. Already their organization is going to be dissolved for this, all this crime they have provided, right? It is almost going to be 3 hours. It went 3 hours. I have to educate. Population never knows what is advertisement, what is marketing, what is claims, what is underwriting, what is how the hiring processing became scandal, why people wanted network, that network also scandal, why hiring processing they are not even looking into the talent of the civilians, just like that they hire. Why? What is the rock solid work ethics? What is integrity? What is loyalty? What is teamwork? How to provide healthy conflict management, right? Conflict of interest will be there, how we are going to handle it, how we are going to have work with the diversified people in the workplace. Then collections agency scandal to enforce poverty. Then credit score impact, also mandated to create poverty. When they are going to go into the foreclosure mode, the civilians cannot even apply for loans for 3 long years. Poverty enforced on them. Why Brett Kavanaugh is a prostitute who never fixed this. Why Amy Barrett is also a prostitute who never fixed this. So that is a live proof that how the hiring process in United States of America is a eyewash, it's a namesake. They never even bother about the talent at the mode. Whoever is having the rightful talent never gets a job. Unemployed, mocked, bullied. When people are not having a home, owning a home, how people are mocked and self-respect is removed and not even respected in the family gathering and family reunion or whatsoever, they'll be neglected. They will not say, we will neglect you. The family, so-called fancy society created family in each household, they'll not say they'll neglect you. They will not say that they will provide the discrimination to you. They will not say that you will be treated as trash. But it goes without saying. People can figure it out when they are in the family gathering or family reunion or in the whatever it is. So it is on the politics on the government level, politics on the household level, politics on the population level, where only civilians will go for run for help. Where? When every single thing is broken, where? Why God is always God? Why God is always God? You figure out the correct answer for that, my dear fellow mankind. It is with God-given strength I'm living, right? I'm providing the testimony. Most of the time I break down, right? And little bit about me. You all must have been waiting for that little bit about me part of it, right? Because all the sessions were busy on the crime part of it, I never get to say about a little bit about me. For me, I just cannot, whether I told you earlier, I don't know. I cannot cry just like that. Some people will cry that crocodile cries, right? To create a show, to create a scene like that. For me, I just cannot. So that means that the emotional disturbances must create that tears for me. And I will have runny nose whenever I create out of that emotional breakdown. And you all must have seen when I worked on earlier sessions how I emotionally broke up, right? But anyways, so this is a crime. So tell me, what is Associated Bank going to do? Because they are having that collections agencies and credit bureau agency division in their software line of code of algorithm. And that is a poverty creation, war crime of domestic violence classification, manslaughter and homicide classification. It's the same for Hewlett Packard, it's the same for Citibank, it's the same for US Bank. So they threw acid on me, that's all. But even when they threw acid on me, today I'm living and God's name alone is glorified, isn't it? That is why God is always God. Okay, thank you all for your time. Take care. It went a little bit more than 3 hours, right? But this crime is a crime. You all should know what is a crime. Population never knew. Why they're getting costliest billing in their medical side, in your telephone side, in your utility side, and insurance side, right? Drugs, medical drugs, grocery, retails of anything, vehicle tax, right? You all got it. Why Mercedes-Benz will only be begging me to take one of their vehicles, which I will take it. But I provided the crime, they have to end up in jail anyways, isn't it? Right? They all have collections agencies, they all have sales tax, they all have federal tax, they all have state tax. They all have this credit bureau scoring. Everything comes under the war crime. And if you see, the war equipments will not be in any of these scandals. Las Vegas Sin City casinos will not be in the scandal. And Pope Francis will not be in anywhere in any of these operations because he can live free. And he created criminal law. If anybody like me who wants to step up and say that he's a criminal, then he created a criminal law. Criminal law will shut my mouth out and it will sign of injustice and send me out. That's what the Department of Justice of State of Wisconsin did. And today they are also going to the jail. I'm helpless now. The judge, the commissioner, the 2 lawyers and the female cop who signed injustice to me, they all must run to the jail now. I only can bail them out too. I'm helpless. Because even in justice services, they have the collections agency and credit bureau, and then ATMs, and they have state tax, sales tax, rental eviction, foreclosure. All this comes under the deadliest domestic violence of war crimes. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, those 5 people must be in the jail forever for they signed injustice to me. Right? I can bail them out. I already said I can bail them out. The abusive people are innocent because the moment they don't know to love clean, they are the disabled population after all. Right? The moment the abusive people are hurting other fellow mankind, that is a display that they are providing Their brain is not working. They are the ones who need to get the medical evaluation, isn't it? And the crime is deadliest because they were asking me to pay dollars. And I said, I cannot pay. I'm unemployed. I'm poverty mode. I'm PROSE, right? They ignored me. Today, Department of Justice of State of Wisconsin, next 1 second must pay me $500 billion tax-free. And for those 5 people signed injustice to me, they have to provide, State of Wisconsin must provide me $5 billion. And there's more crime. You all wait and watch and see. You all will be puking, isn't it? This collection agency is a deadliest crime. Deadliest crime. No other crime. How the collection agencies was provided for the child population, child marriage population. Where will the Associated Bank, where will the Citibank, where will the Department of Justice will have their face? Can you all see the Treasury is going to seal and shut down? Can you see the tax agency is going to shield and shut down forever? There will be no more tax processing until I provide the reform, the tax reform. Child marriage population. How on the earth the Associated Bank was providing services for child marriage population. Where will they have the face? They laid me off because Pope Francis destroyed the finance services. But today, I am helpless mode. I am unemployed. I am poverty mode. I am a beggar mode. I am a refugee mode. I am an orphan mode. I am thrown on the road mode, right? Tell me how the collection agency and credit bureau was providing services for the child marriage population. Boom! Everything crashed in pieces in 1 second, half a second, or less than half a second, isn't it? This is how the programmed logic will check for each and every single checkpoint for loopholes and throw the errors. My dear fellow mankind. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now. This went a little more than 3 hours. But this is the deadliest crime that needs to be fixed. Fix it right now, Mr. President Joe Biden. He cannot fix it. He will faint and pass out, right? He'll faint and pass out. Even White House is having collections agency and must be having collections agency, credit bureau, everything of this crime, tax after tax after tax. These people are soaked and marinated with the tax. The brains are damaged to the extent they cannot live without the word called tax. Pope Francis destroyed it. Don't you all think that I must become the Vatican leader immediately and start helping the population and free all the nations from the slavery of this Pope Francis, the Satan? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. I can only wish USA government can just listen to me and sign the job offer immediately to me. And I must get the job offer. I must get the freelance. I must get the national operations benefits. I must get the free housing. I must get the free vehicle of my choice. And I will decide where I want to live. All the nations want me to live in their nations only. But it will be I who will decide where to live. For that, I need that finance help. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now.